Hey there, internet friends, Trevor Starkey here with another episode of What I Feel Like Friday. This week I did something I almost never do. I had tickets to go see The Bodyguard at Gamage as part of my season subscription there, which I bought mainly so I could go see Hamilton in a couple months. Yeah, The Bodyguard I just kind of didn't go. I skipped the show. I didn't go see theater when I had the tickets to. And yeah, that's a rarity for me. Usually if I'm not going to go see a show, I just don't go see the show. I don't have tickets for it. Typically, if I've got the ticket, once I've got the ticket, I say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. There's probably one, maybe two other times that I can think of in my life that I've basically been like, no, I don't really feel like going after all. And this is one where it was like, I even like drove by the theater and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to go home instead. I don't really feel like it tonight. And a large part of that is, A, I've never seen the Bodyguard movie, and B, taking movies from like the last 20, 30 years and turning them into musicals is one of the most annoying trends I've seen in theater in recent years. It's just not something I'm a huge fan of. Sometimes it can work, but more often than not, I'm like, this is just a quick grab on the name recognition of that thing. Theater was supposed to be a place where new ideas could foster, and then maybe those new ideas turn into movies or something like that. But here, we've seen in recent years just movie after movie after movie being turned into a musical. And in something like the case of The Bodyguard, I just decided I didn't need to go see it. If I haven't seen the movie, I have no desire to go and see the musical, which is really just going to have And I Will Always Love You, and probably a whole bunch of music that I don't give a crap about. And I don't give a crap about And I Will Always Love You either. So, yeah, I skipped a show, which is weird. But I did see last week, I went and saw Mercury, which is a new play produced by my friends over at Stray Cat Theater, which is a company in town that I did work with for many, many years, and was on their board of directors, was the president of their board of directors for a time. So it's a company that I still go and support and go see pretty much everything they do. So I went and saw their new production, Mercury, written by Steve Yockey, who's not a local playwright, but we've done, and by we I mean Stray Cat, has done, this is, I think, the fourth play of his now, and two of them have been like world premiere-ish type things. Like this is like a co-premiere with the company here in town, and I think another company up in Utah, I think, did it around the same time. So like we've been good partners with him in his work, and he's out there also writing for TV shows like Supernatural and stuff like that. So good for him. And he's always a treasure and a delight. And he has a very unique and interesting perspective in the kind of shows he chooses to do. He does very much kind of mythical types of shows. There's always an element of like super reality to his work. In this show in particular, there's a lot of action that centers around this shop of oddities and curiosities, and it turns out one of the items that they sell at that shop basically gets a person a one-way ticket to hell? ? It's kind of left open, but they show up in this place and are basically like killed because of it. Kind of is the extraneous supernatural element of this show. Always very dark comedies. One of the last shows I worked on was also of Steve's, a show called Wolves, and it was kind of like a little twist on the Little Red Riding Hood, and that there was a couple, a broken up couple, gay couple, living in an apartment, and one of the guys brings another guy home, and the other person from the breakup basically like goes through neurosis and sees this other character, this intruder, as a wolf, and hacks him away with an axe in the show. And so you get like blackout, and then like lights come up a couple seconds later and there's just blood everywhere. It's another kind of thing of Steve's, and Mercury's no different. Mercury has a ton of blood on there as well. for the last show for Wolves, I ended up having to clean up like the big white vinyl couch every night. So we took it out after the show. We would like spray it down with the hose and wash it for half an hour and get it ready for the next performance the next night. But yeah, we would just like pour buckets of blood on that thing, and then I would also have to squeegee up the stage after the show as well. So I'm glad I'm not working on this one because it's another blood-filled show, and so it's very funny. I really enjoyed it. It was a great time, but it's also he does these things that are a nightmare for the tech crew. And so I'm very glad to be hands-off on this one and just kind of get to enjoy it from a distance. Anyway, that's me rambling about a show that 99% of the people who watch this can't see anyway because it's here in Phoenix. But I really enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun, and yeah, I just love supporting Stray Cat, the company, and Steve's work as well is always very inventive and enjoyable. So that's what I feel like talking about today. I skipped a show, but I got to see one last week that was really good. So yeah, that's me. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.